Welcome to Tailgate Update. This is episode number 39. So we're happy to have you here today. Of course, we have Ryan Besaw, we have Julie Miller, Caleb Horn, and I'm Jay Moffitt. And we're going to start out today with the NHL. And I'm going to throw it to Ryan to talk a little bit about the Stanley Cup playoffs, the finals.
Thanks, Jay. The Stanley Cup final has blown out anything that has been on TV in the last month. The Panthers, obviously, they're better than Edmonton at this point. It's clear as day. Edmonton's trying their best. They played their best game in Game 1. Couldn't get nothing on the board. Bobrovsky has kept Florida in the game on numerous occasions throughout this playoffs and in Game 1. And it's just he continues just to dazzle us with all of his saves and all of his tremendous work he's doing in between the pipes. So, no matter what happens in Game 4, I believe Florida's going to come home with the cup. Whether it's 5 or 6, it's going to happen.
So what are you thinking, Caleb?
I think it's been awesome. So far, not just the cup final, but the entire playoffs have been amazing. What was the note? 43% up from last year's audience. So that's awesome. Good for the sport. Good to see it's growing. Great hockey's been played. And Florida's just Edmonton cannot do what they need to do. And hopefully they get at least one game at Edmonton, make it at least a gentleman's sweep. But it's been a lot of fun to watch still. I mean, I still feel like despite they're up 3-0, it's been a lot better watch than the NBA finals so far. But I'm probably biased. Sorry.
The only thing I had to add was the fact that the ratings are great. 5 and 10 years ago, you could not find the Stanley Cup playoffs on your dial, and now they're in as pristine a position as the NBA playoffs. You know exactly when they're on, what time they're on, prime time every night on a major network. So, 43% is a lot up for them, and it's been competitive every round. So it's been really good.
I heard argument that part of it was because it's the second time a Canadian team has been in the finale since 2012. The last time the Montreal Canadiens played in 2021, and now we have Edmonton 2024. So considering it's a mostly Canadian sport, it would make sense that people would be more of interest when their team is actually a team from their country is in there.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Well, yeah, it makes because Canada is still part of North America, so it's as far as I know, it hasn't changed. So
I don't think that they left. So
no,
but they're not our country though. Like they're two very different countries, obviously. But then also, Canada is a huge deal in Europe. So like, really, America is like the least hockey of all hockey. And somehow we're like dominating the situation. So,
I was wanting to ask Ryan and Caleb, do y'all think it's more a function of that they've got a better TV contract, or the function the last 2 and 3 years that the hockey's just been more competitive and better?
I think it can be both for sure.
Yeah, I'm on the fence with both there, but I'm gonna go ahead and think that it helps that you're now on ESPN during the regular season and during the playoffs. And you're also on TNT during the regular season, during the playoffs. I remember, 10, 12 years ago, they were on Versus for the first couple rounds. I don't know if you guys remember that channel.
Yeah.
Some people don't get Versus. So
I think there might be more of a global focus on sports in general. I mean, we're seeing it with football, and I think a lot of sports have been really global before, but I think maybe we're just getting more of an increased focus on all the sports. I mean, they even had cricket.
Oh, yeah.
Like here, like playing in the United States or whatever. I've never heard of cricket. Like my significant other watches it because it's a thing in like Europe and
Pakistan.
and Asia and all that stuff. So like Seeing it in the United States was really surprising to me. Because I literally thought croquet and cricket were the same thing, and I was really confused when I saw something that looked like baseball.
Wow.
They sound kind of similar, I suppose.
I was told that cricket was where you go on the lawn and you hit the mallet thing with the balls, okay? So
no, you were misled, Julie.
Yeah.
I learned some things. All right.
Moving on from the Stanley Cup, the Oilers, Dresnati got an elbowing penalty late in game 2. And he said he wasn't intending to hurt the other guy. So is that legitimate or?
I'm gonna call bullshit.
That's hockey.
You think it was a kill shot?
Okay, so there's a difference between that's hockey and leaving your skates and purposely driving your elbow and forearms towards the guy's mouth. When you're getting beat bad, he left his Caleb. Come on, he left his skates.
No.
What do you mean no? Draisaitl has been known for dirty play, and you see it all series long. And when Edmonton starts losing, they start getting dirty, they start getting chippy, and they start getting whiners.
I would get chippy if I were struggling.
It slipped.
I do get chippy when I'm struggling.
What do you mean it slipped?
It's slick out there. He slipped.
Yeah, he slipped so hard that his feet launched him towards the sky. He didn't fall backwards.
I don't know.
He wasn't falling backwards.
Checks out for me.
Don't give me that bullshit, Caleb.
Clearly, Ryan's never fell before.
Oh, I've fallen plenty, but I just know my feet have never launched me towards the sky when I've fallen.
I feel like but I fall a lot. So anyway,
Draisaitl is, I'm calling bullshit. But yeah, go ahead, Julie.
I'm calling bullshit on the fact that Borkov, is fine after taking a shoulder to the jaw because he was back on the ice with no limitation 2 days later.
Yeah, he played in game 3.
Yeah,
that checks out for hockey too.
Yeah, and I discovered that yes.
Yeah.
And I discovered that the NHL has a concussion protocol. I didn't know that, but I did not have the stomach or the inner strength to Google what nightmare that was. So
well, apparently he passed it pretty quickly.
Okay, yeah.
Ace the test.
Fly colors. Yeah, they asked him how many fingers am I holding up, and he said the wrong number, and they said great.
For hockey, yeah, I feel like hockey's concussion protocol is a little bit different than football.
It's however many fingers I'm holding up, plus or minus 8. So
yeah.
Speaking of the finals, there's another major league that's holding their finals, and that's the NBA. Finals.
Why are they still happening?
We thought that we'd be holding, a funeral today for Dallas Mavericks, but apparently they, they took their nebulizer and they got their win back. So
they got one.
They got one, all right. They won by 38 last night.
It's too bad they don't do it cumulative. They'd be in good shape.
So here's my
do we think Boston through it?
I think so.
I think they want to come back home.
Well, not only that, they shot like garbage last night. Like I watched the first 2.5 quarters, and they shot like they were horrible from the field. Like they just could not get the 3-ball going, and Dallas was smashing it everywhere. They were just moving the ball well, and they were hitting shots. I can say that. And Boston couldn't answer. They tried to answer. They got the lead to single digits after they were down. I think it was 13 or 15 or something like that.
Yeah.
But Dallas just kind of put their foot on the pedal and took off after that. And fortunately for Boston, there's still 2 more games before we have a game 7. So, 2 more. Yeah, 2 more games. Yeah, 2 more games.
But yeah, Dallas was competitive game 2 and 3, but you could not feel like the last 5 minutes they had a chance in either one. And after Luka fouled out with 4 minutes to go in game 3, they really had no chance. But it's like they always say about the role players playing better at home. Finally, in game 4, that's what it looked like for Dallas because they were getting their lobs, they were getting their cuts. Luka was hitting every step back. I mean, it was just amazing the difference. And the stats that they talked about were the fact that it was the Celtics' second worst rebounding game of the year and first bet worst, shooting game of the year. And I'm like, this is a game 79. This isn't game 10. To have both of those on the same night is just amazing. They just weren't prepared.
No, and it's a nice mix of desperation and Boston also not. They're like, if we win in Boston, it might be cooler. Not saying that's what happened, but there's probably a little bit of that in the back of the mind.
Yeah.
Not that sense of urgency anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Next weekend we'll be able to bury them, I think, or we could be talking about something historic. Who knows? The other big news for the basketball world was the Hall of Fame legend Jerry West, the logo, passing away at age 86.
I did not even know that he was the logo, but
yeah,
I mean, obviously, R.I.P. Jerry West. But I also noticed that he had the same comb over since he played in the NBA, and I was just really impressed by the consistency and like literally the exact same one. But I was kind of shocked when I saw him back in the day because he was young.
Wasn't he part of the Lakers team that lost 10 straight finals or something like that? Or
I just know that he hated the Lakers when he died. I know that. Or they're estranged or something.
Jerry helped revitalize the Lakers dynasty in the 2000s when he got Kobe and Shaq.
Right.
Then he tried with the Clippers later in his GM career, but it's the Clippers.
You can't save everyone.
They're the little brothers that nobody cares about.
Yeah,
you're already the logo. Like that's
you said that
enough.
He had lost 8 finals before he finally won one.
Yeah, and he lost what? They were all to Boston, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think maybe one to the Warriors when they were in Philadelphia.
Okay.
The Philadelphia Warriors, but yeah, he lost every one until the last one.
Yep. Yeah, I couldn't imagine going through that every year, just losing every year.
Yeah.
Like
but I mean, a guy that made the Hall of Fame as a GM and I think he made as a GM and a player, both.
As he should. He was a great GM. He helped the Lakers pretty much dominate the 2000s. That whole decade, the Lakers won 5 of the 10 championships, or should say 5 of the 9 that were played in. So
yeah, he did the I mean, there were so many little things that he was with the Lakers where
just consistency.
Right. He was part of the thing where they talked other teams into not taking Kobe, so they'd be available for them to get. And he was one of the last phone calls that Kevin Durant made before Kevin Durant joined the Warriors. And I had no idea he was part of the Warriors front office at that time.
Yeah.
There's just so many little things he was involved with. I'm from Memphis, so the main thing he was known for was he could never get the big trade done, except that he went to join the Lakers. He got the big trade, got our best guy for what they call magic beans. But basically we got shafted on the trade, but we got a big trade exception, and we got a second round guy from that the Lakers had picked up that was a big Spaniard, which was Mark Gasol, his brother. And by the time that we got him to Memphis, he had been the best player in the second best league in the world. He was like the most valuable player in the Spanish league when he finally came over to Memphis. So he did a lot of things, and you should read everything you could about him because, man, that was one combative personality. It's old school stuff, 60s and 70s stuff that you just would not fly today. Literally would not.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy that, in 2 weeks we lost Bill Walton and we lost Jerry West.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, 2 different guys that did, 2 different things for 15 or 20 years, which is so unusual. Most of the commentators that you see in basketball were all, they were role players for the most part, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he was a former MVP that was also a 20-year announcer. Walton was so, and Jerry
Yeah.
West, GM of the year and most valuable player of the finals. So yeah,
NBA logo.
The one
Yeah.
finals that he won.
69 wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean 69, 70, something around there.
Yeah.
But the only other big thing in basketball going on was Jokic getting locked in to his national team.
Yeah, I did a little research on this one. I do believe that by the end of July, the NBA Finals will be over, so that will be nice. Although I'm not sure. So they're going to be in the Paris Olympics basketball game. He's competing with Serbia, and their first game is actually against the United States.
Is he going to bring his horses with him?
Man, that didn't show up in the summary that I read.
Because he's always complaining he has to go home to his horses.
Look at
when is that? When are the Olympic Games? Oh no, I'm still at home, but I have to go home. I can't be here. No, he's going to be in like the third quarter of USA versus Serbia in Paris. He's like, Coach, I have to go home. I can't be here. I have to go home.
Forgot to feed the horses.
I forgot to feed my horses. I have to go home.
Horses are a full-time job, and he cannot afford to get a stable person. So
he can't afford a stable person because he has to
can't.
go home.
Yes, they are.
He can't.
I will make sure to Google about the horses next time.
I feel like the next contract Jokic gets, he's gonna have like a clause in there. He gets to go home every other weekend. Like that's what I feel like. That's what we're coming to. Like,
I appreciate a man who loves his horses. Okay.
Yes, but this dude wins the NBA Finals. He's Finals MVP. Wins the MVP for the league. And he's like, I have to go home. I can't even celebrate. The parade's on Thursday. I have to go home.
No time.
No time. This is crazy. I have to go home.
Okay, we're going to lead off the NFL talk by talking about something we talk about almost every week. Somebody like pretty young retiring, which is Darren Waller is retiring at age 31.
That makes what? Is that two guys this off season that's retired at 31?
That's two that we've heard of. There's probably other guys too. But,
okay, two mainstream guys.
Yeah,
31 feels like a valid time to retire.
I'm saying, well, yeah.
Unless you're the QB who gets protected by every rule in the book, I think 31 makes a lot of sense. Besides, as I discussed and did a little research on, David Waller has some addiction problems and marriage problems because he couldn't even do he couldn't do a full year of marriage. So, he was dating married to that WNBA player. She said she walked through fire for him and it didn't work. I don't even know what that means. But he's been having an opioid addiction. And I know it sounds like I'm rambling, but I'm getting somewhere. It started in high school, which was really common for people in our age range, which David Waller and I are the same age range.
Darren.
Since they were handing out opiates like candy to every kid with an injury. Not that I know anything about that, but back in the 2000s, they were like, hey, take some opioids. So, but he actually stole his from his parents starting at age 15. And he had like really bad addiction problems in college. He actually failed some drug tests and admitted to cheating on others, and that really affected his draft in the NFL. And then he was suspended twice in the NFL, one for 4 games, one for a whole season because of drugs. And now that he's retiring, he's actually doing public speaking all over in my neck of the woods in northern New Jersey with different groups like kids. And he's partnering with a healthcare network provider to become the like public face of some mental health and addiction services. So that's really cool. So he has a lot of shit to deal with right now and not in the NFL. His ex-wife had to walk through fire and he likes opioids just a little too much since he was 15. That's like half his life.
It literally almost is, yes.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, unfortunately with the opioid crisis that we're still dealing with, that's not totally uncommon, but
right, yeah.
Yeah, been sure to say it's a lot of NFL players. Not a lot,
Yes.
but there's
no,
probably
it's
a
a
good portion.
ton. It's a shit ton because they handed out like candy to everybody, and especially the NFL, because they get injured so often. So yeah, it's a really common problem, and it's already common in the regular population. But I do appreciate that he is now like speaking with kids and stuff, so that's really great.
Speaking about contact sports, the Lions
Mm.
got docked a day of OTA for having contact during one of the practices, which was not allowed during non-contact drills.
Oh, Dan.
This is the most Dan Campbell thing ever.
Just wanted to bite some kneecaps off. That's all.
I got a quote from the Lions part of it that really stood out to me. It said, "We take very seriously the rules set forth within the NFL's off-season program and have worked to conduct our practices accordingly," which seems in direct dispute with what we're talking about right now. But the specific
who snitched?
Yeah, the specific incident hasn't been released, so we don't know. Maybe nobody snitched, Caleb, because I remember last year, I think it was, the NFLPA actually like goes to different practices and physically watches.
Yeah, I was just saying the same thing. I think there's actual like NFL officials there.
Yeah, well, the NFLPA, and so I don't think anybody's like snitching. I think because some other team got in trouble when they showed up at last season, I believe. Could have been the one before that, but when they showed up and saw that there was contact, so that they do like little supervising
spot checks.
You kind of have to,
and they catch somebody every time.
Hey, so you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Amen.
Yeah,
but they take very seriously the rules set forth.
I was going to say it's maybe a little boring, but they probably have like not just policy reasons, but probably insurance reasons and things too.
That 100%. There's like a million reasons why. Yeah,
right. That the players get paid more for contract drills. They have to pay more for insurance on the players. They have to have extra, extra medical on the field and stuff. Lots of different things.
They have to pretend that they care more about player safety at those point in times, which is like very expensive. Yeah.
Okay. We're going to spend. So we'll go Trevor Lawrence now.
Trevor Lawrence.
What do you think, Caleb? What do you think? 275 million, right, for Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, averages out to 55 a year. Man, I don't know. That's a lot for a guy who hasn't done jack shit.
Well, I was kind of focusing on the injury part because I thought he was injury prone, but that's kind of debatable right now because he has only had 6 documented injuries in college and the NFL. 4 since
I don't remember
the
him
NFL.
Missing anything extensive, but
he only missed 1 game with his high ankle sprain in 2023, and they call him an Iron Man of sorts because although he has a lot of trouble with his feet, ankles, and knees, he always plays through it. And so I'm like, if he's injury prone but he plays through them, like 5 years doesn't seem particularly risky on that front because like they can throw him away afterwards. But like that's what immediately I went to because for some reason I thought he was always like he always had like a brace on or limping or some shit last season, it felt like, but I guess it's really not that bad. So
he's okay. I mean, I guess that's just the going rate for a top 15 quarterback.
It still seems a bit high to me. I mean, for what the other people are getting, the other people have at least, hit the playoffs, the other people getting decent contracts. And he's literally in, I can say that because I'm a Titans fan, he's literally in by far the worst division in football. And they're not dominating.
Which I think everybody thought they would.
They do for a time period, and then they just kind of fall off. It's a Jacksonville thing.
We'll see. Maybe by the time like a Caleb Williams comes around, where he's at the end of his rookie contract, maybe $70 million a year is the going rate for a decent quarterback.
Trevor's being paid as much as Joe Burrow is per year,
and Joe Burrow's always beating himself up too.
Joe Burrow
Lamar, more than Herbert, more than Hurts. all these guys have done
Burrow's
stuff.
been to a Super Bowl.
They have hardware.
But
Lamar's
Hurts
got
and
2
Burrow
MVPs.
both have
Except
big
Herbert,
injury
but-
histories too, more than him.
They do, yes. But
They missed like whole
Trevor
years.
Trevor has what, 2 playoff wins his entire career? 1 playoff win?
One for sure, because they had that crazy win against San Diego or the Chargers.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I
I
think that's it.
think let me just do a real quick check. Hold on.
I
Yeah.
remember seeing him in the preseason in his first season. It was supposed to be like the second coming of Jesus, and I was like, it was very underwhelming. Very
It has
underwhelming.
been. And
Yeah.
it's not necessarily his fault, because it's not his fault he's billed as that, but it's not done a lot. All his numbers are very middling, you know.
No playoff
It
games
seems
there.
like they win 9 games every single year. You know, it's just
Okay,
not,
yeah. No, he's got 1 playoff win.
Yeah.
He's 1-1 in the playoffs, and he's making $55 million a year, 5-year extension, $275 with
that
200
playoff
guaranteed.
win was insane.
He's got
So-
200 guaranteed.
Well, at least some careers combat inflation, unlike everyone else's.
Yeah, but
Literally
like you said,
everybody
it's trying to set it's
Everyone.
trying to set the market for people like Burrow and Dak Prescott going forward, and I think that they just overshot with him myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
I mean,
I
he
think they're putting the
easily-
cart before the horse here.
40, 45 mil, I probably would have been like, man, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I guess it's only 10 mil difference, but
Feels
The
like a
last
lot.
of the 4-pack on the NFL, we've got the Falcons are forfeiting some money and some 2025 draft pick, 5th round draft pick,
I've
because
got
of some tampering on 3 different players.
I've got a little tidbit
Okay.
Ooh.
about this actually. So they're losing a 2025 5th.
Mhm.
This past draft, they picked right in front of the Bears, right?
Mhm.
They picked at 8, the Bears picked at 9. The Bears offered them, I believe, a 2025 4th to move up 1 spot, so the Bears could ensure that they got a Dunze. Falcons, knowing that they were going to pick Penix and the Bears were not going to be picking Penix, still decided to decline that offer and ended up just taking Penix and not taking the draft capital, which now they've essentially lost via discipline by the league. So the Falcons cannot, I mean, they can't even breathe right now.
Bro, the guys that they tampered with,
Mooney,
improper contact,
Mooney,
Mooney,
Cousins, and who else?
Werner. Charlie Werner.
I don't know who that is.
He's a tight end. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna see if you could see here.
They
Well-
tampered for a practice squad tight end.
He was in San Francisco. He was like the
I don't know
5,000th tight
either.
end they have. He was like the last tight end on the depth chart, I think. He only had 32 yards last year.
32 more yards than I did.
Yeah, but they were trying to jump the gun, trying to get Darnell Mooney, Charlie Werner, and Kirk Cousins.
Mm.
Hey, this is so
Just so they
Atlanta.
could draft Michael
I
Penix.
don't. Yeah.
This is so Atlanta.
They're so funny. They're so funny.
They have fallen off hard from the days of Matt Ryan winning MVP.
Mm.
But I mean, it's such a small amount though that I mean, it really doesn't. $250,000 for one organization, and a
Oh.
5th round pick is just it's negligible for 3 different. If it just been one, what would it have been, like a 7th round pick and $50,000? I mean,
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, they got the general manager too for 50,000. So
yeah, but yeah,
the team got 250 and he got 50,000. But the Eagles were cleared of any wrongdoing. So
yeah, I was about to say
Arthur
that.
Blank
Perhaps-
don't get out of bed for less than 500
There's-
days. So
perhaps Atlanta should have called Philly and be like, "Hey, how do you do this properly?"
There's no tampering when it came to Saquon Barkley.
Right. So he is safely in Philadelphia without
Mm.
any issue.
Yeah.
League's got their favorites.
And his dad has all the issues now, but catching the My True Crime podcast, a little pew pew action going on.
Notable tampering penalties. The Lions in 2011 tampered with Chiefs players, and they got a 7th round pick forfeited.
Stop it. What Jay said literally happened.
Literally, it just says Chiefs players.
Like all of them?
Apparently.
They should just put out everyone but Mahomes.
The Chiefs. Oh, this is 2011. In 2016, the Chiefs tampered with Jeremy Maclin. They lost a 3rd and a 4th the following year. Dolphins in 23 tampered with Tom Brady and Sean Payton. They lost a 23 first and a 24 third. Then this year with the Falcons. That's pretty fun.
With Tom. They lost a 1st round pick because they tampered with Tom Brady
in 2023, who was like 800 years old,
and they still didn't get him. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, they didn't get either of them. So that's
if they got him, it probably would have been a 2nd round pick.
Imagine how Tua felt though. Like imagine how Tua felt. Like, oh, you tampered with Tom Brady to get rid of me.
Shit, Ryan. Like shit.
You guys just drafted me like 3 years ago. Okay.
Well, I think that about wraps up for the NFL. Unless y'all had something else that come up lately that I didn't hear about.
Jet got paid last week. Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
He got paid last week.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's the highest paid non-quarterback or something like that.
Yeah, in the league.
I hope that was
in NFL history.
Well, I hope that was worth him never winning a championship.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I see. I wonder how long it's going to take for him to demand a trade after J.J. McCarthy's throwing bullets past his head.
Give it a year and a half before the disgruntledness really starts showing.
I wonder how long it's going to take him to turn to Stephon Diggs.
Do you think he's going to go to Buffalo next?
No. I'm just saying he's going to push his way out. He's going to push his way out.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Well, let me just jump over to something we were going to cover this week. Just one little thing. It's called
Jay's Petty Move of the Week.
The Petty Move of the Week. And of course, that was Richard Petty, my bobblehead of the King, Richard Petty. So you cannot have a Southern household without having a NASCAR bobblehead somewhere in the house. We've got 3 different candidates. You know, we can go back and forth on or vote or just whatever way y'all want to do it. But the first Petty Move of the Week was the women's Olympic team, basketball team, taking a hard pass on Caitlin Clark as part of the 12-member Olympic team. So just anyone jump in. I've got a few thoughts, but yeah.
Hard pass.
That's
what we're call a hard pass.
A hard pass. Yeah. Say, yeah, that lady. Yeah, hard pass.
Thanks.
I'm gonna
Idiots.
call it. I'm not gonna say that's a hard pass. That's more of like a really mean old man slamming the door in the Girl Scout's face. I don't want your peanut butter patties, and just slams the door. That's pretty much what it was like. Chocolate.
I'm
dumb.
Just gonna take this chance to be petty myself and plug my Forkball article called "No One Cares" and Angel Reese.
I enjoyed that article. That was fun.
Madam Tailgate. What's it called? Coattail Rider. Angel Reese, Madam Coattail Rider. That's right.
Yes, absolutely.
Nobody knew who she was. Nobody knew who she was until she faced Caitlin Clark. Yeah. And then stole Caitlin Clark's move.
Yeah. Nobody would have cared.
Nobody knew who she was. And now she's trying to say, oh, they're watching it for me too. No,
yeah,
people didn't care.
I addressed her petty, and so that's my petty contribution to this.
Okay. She is trying so hard to make it seem like, oh, she's changing the face of WNBA. No
one cares.
You're riding your fame from 2 years ago that still nobody cares about. You can't be famous without mentioning Clayton Clark.
I don't understand the finances of it, the optics of it. I mean, the record she were breaking was not 10-year-old women's college basketball records. The records she was breaking for points in college, I mean, were from 40-year-old. I mean, it was Pete Maravich records from the
Mm-hmm.
70s,
Yeah.
that people thought would never be broken.
Right.
I mean, they were like the Wilt 100-point game records, But since she was a female and she was making more money in college with endorsements than she would have gotten going to the WNBA, she stayed the whole 4 years and she broke those records people didn't think would be broken. And I mean, for the Dream Team, they had Leitner on the team. There's lots of teams that they put in one or two players on there that they might have been the 10th, 11th, or best player on there, but they were on there because of their presence, because of the fact that they brought so many eyeballs to the screen. And I know that they'll still have good ratings and everything, but I don't think anyone really believes it. I think the women's soccer team will be a lot bigger ratings draw now at this point.
Well, they snubbed her, and then an analyst tries to justify it as, you're young. You don't need to be on the Olympic team. There's more time for you to be on the Olympic team. What's that got to do with anything?
I mean, sure, but don't you want the ratings? I mean,
don't you want to win?
They're really good. Like I don't know if they're as good as other countries are just horrendous at this. They've completely dominated. I don't know if you pay attention much, but they've utterly dominated international competition.
Oh, absolutely.
Over the last couple
I agree.
decades.
You're right. And they were going to win with or without her. You're right.
But why not bring her aboard? Like, she's the face of your league right now. Whether these old disgruntled women want to admit it or not, like, she is the face right now. She is feeding them right now.
Well,
bring her along.
Let's put it this way, Caleb. Christian Leitner was on the Dream Team over Isaiah Thomas. Why was that? Michael Jordan didn't want him on the team. Michael Jordan hated Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah,
he literally said, if Isaiah's playing, I'm not.
It's 30 years later and he's still crying, so I kind of get it.
Those are some hard facts there, Ryan. Nice.
Okay, our next candidate for Petty Move of the Week is Joey Chestnut being kicked off from the nation's 4th of July hot dog eating contest.
Egregious.
And I'm like, I don't know the name of anyone else on the hot dog eating contest besides Joey Chestnut.
Aside from
I watch it every year.
Matt Stoney or whatever, he won it like one time. He's pretty big on YouTube, but
okay.
Isn't Joey Chestnut having a hot dog eating contest on Netflix with that Toshiaba or
Kobayashi?
Kobayashi, yeah.
Is he?
Oh my god.
Fun.
Yeah.
They picked up the pieces, yes.
Yeah, he's not competing for the first time since 2007, and he's only gotten beat 1 year since 2007. Yeah.
The reason they claim was the fact that our guy Joey Chestnut has an endorsement deal with Impossible Meat, which is not real meat, of course. It's plant grown. But I didn't see what that had to do with the fact once a year Nathan's hot dogs, because Joey Chestnut is eating like shrimp and barbecue eating contests, and he's doing like 10 different kinds of food besides Nathan's hot dogs throughout the whole year for the last 15 years. Because they've never thrown him out.
It's because Impossible. I don't think so.
By Nathan at the point.
That's a good question. But they said
that's their fault.
They said he was banned because he had the Impossible sponsorship, which is a rival company with Nathan's.
Oh. Okay, and we're going to swing back around to another snub, another petty move, which is the way that, not the fact that he did, but the way in which Dan Hurley snubbed the Lakers, which was just dragging it out for like 3 to 5 to 7 days.
It wasn't leverage, though. It wasn't a leverage play.
Yeah, and I have a quote for that. One of the worst takes I've heard is this was a leverage plan by me to improve my situation at UConn. I don't need leverage here. We've won the back-to-back national championships at this place. Drop the mic.
That's why he went back, he said, because I want to continue. I want to try for a 3-peat. Okay, you were offered significantly more to coach the Lakers. But I think bro was like, oh, you know what? LeBron's probably gonna leave next year.
It
I'm
wasn't
out.
that
He
much
don't want
more.
that headache.
It wasn't that much more. I mean, you consider the LA taxes and everything that was going to be going into
Oh yeah,
that.
that's true. Yeah,
I mean, he'd have been crushed by that. I don't know that it
yeah,
would
that's
have
true.
netted him that much more money. The only thing I was thinking is that it's going to give him a legitimate offseason every year.
Excuse me.
College athletics, you are recruiting 24/7, 365, and these kids will just
That's
leave
true.
at the drop of a hat. So
That's true.
that would be the only thing I could see being more entertaining. But I think I heard that he always wanted to coach the Knicks, so maybe that's what he's waiting for.
Isn't Thibodeau there?
Yeah.
I don't see him
But
leaving anytime soon.
But
I
I
could
was
see
going to
the
say
Knicks
he
getting
did get a
engaged.
raise. He got a huge raise.
Mm-hmm.
He'd signed a new deal last year for 6 years, 32
Mhm.
million, and it just like drops after his big loyalty play. It drops it. Oh, he's got the new deal for 6 years, 52 million. That's
Mhm.
literally a $20 million leverage play. If
It
someone
was not leverage, Jay.
I'm
I
sorry,
need to
I stand
need to
How
find
corrected.
one of
dare
those.
you?
One
How
of the
dare
worst takes
you?
I've heard is this was a leverage plan by me.
I'd settle for $1 million leverage play.
Shoot.
Dude. Bro, that
So,
sounded like one of them franchise tags where like, you know what, I'm gonna hold out for $1 million more inside my franchise.
Yeah, but Saquon.
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
god.
But I mean, okay, let's just go around on these three of people just being petty. Which do you think is the pettiest and the one that really just like cuts your own throat?
I
Joey.
think we know the answer for that from me.
I mean, as much as I want to say Caitlin, it's Joey. Joey being banned from shoving 87,000 hot dogs down his gullet for like 17 minutes straight because he has a deal with a rival spot, like a rival company who
If you
doesn't
like
even
hot dogs, you're not going to be eating impossible fucking meat.
he only eats it because he wants a trophy and the money. That's the only reason why he eats the hot dog. I'm telling you right now. There's no
People
way
only tune in because Joey's on there.
Like,
Right.
who goes out to get hot dogs and they're like, oh, I'll just get some vegan hot dogs instead because Joey's the face of the company? Nobody. It's not the same market.
No, nobody's doing that.
I won't be buying Impossible
soul
hot
can do
dogs
that.
just because Joey's eating Impossible hot dogs. Listen, if I wanted grass, I'll go eat grass. All right, I don't need my
Like, we
meat
don't need
being
to
made.
talk about your dietary decisions, but I'm just arguing that there's
Yeah, I
not
hear you.
really a high competition there.
Yeah.
No,
Myself, I think the Caitlin Clark is the most petty
Don't even get me
because they
started
can
on
look
that.
at the ratings and just see
Mhm.
the impact. It'll be real easy for people to look at the ratings for the women's national basketball team and say, you know, it probably would have been 3 times higher.
Mhm.
I
Caitlin
won't
Clark.
be watching.
Oh yeah, I rarely watch the
There's
Olympics
gonna be
anyways.
a lot
But
of people that probably won't watch because of that. Honestly, I could see that happening.
So
I might have.
which one was yours, Julie? Were you picking Hurley as the pettiest?
God, I don't know. I think just the hot dogs because I'm wounded, as we've discussed. But Angel Reese makes me so angry, and I know that's not even what the story is about, but it's hard to say.
Okay.
It's
So
fair.
I got
you're-
enough petty for all of it.
Okay, so you're thinking the hot dog contest people were
Yeah,
the
I
pettiest.
guess so.
Okay. What do you think, Caleb?
I'm gonna go probably a hot dog eating contest just because like you got your one day a year and your one attraction that
Yeah.
everybody wants to see come work. You kicked them off the squad, man. I don't know what we're doing here.
I'm not watching this year.
I can understand if it was ballpark, but like Impossible, you consider them
Yeah,
who's
You're
buying
telling me
Impossible?
They're your rival. Let's please be serious. For
Give
a
me
minute.
a break,
Yeah, they're not a
Nathan's.
serious rival now.
Oh
Like,
my
come on.
goodness.
I've gotten the Impossible Patty at Burger King sometime, but that was only anyway. That's the only time I've ever even
That's-
considered Impossible. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
my mom's vegan; it was a necessity at the time. But
Oh.
like, who actually gets it at the store, right?
So Ryan, you were the tiebreaker. What did you say was your pettiest
It's
move?
Joey, man. It's Joey.
Okay, so that's 3 to
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, it's Joey. I mean, as much as I say it's as much as I think as much as I don't like the Caitlyn move, It's definitely it's Joey. I mean,
Oh yeah, I hate the Caitlyn. Hate it.
Okay, so let's go around the room and figure out what everybody's promoting this week. Julie, give out your socials and whatever you got.
Yeah,
that you've written.
It's Miller Crime everywhere. It's Pride Month, and because the fourth wall is very advanced, I just wrote an article about the National Gay Flag Football League. Definitely catch that. I'm gonna also be writing another article about gay boxers for the Punch Drunk and Boxing Free series this week, because apparently boxing is more amenable to that than just about any other sport. So that's nice. So we just have a lot of rainbows going on over here, okay? Because it is Pride Month and we are pumped.
Okay.
Yep, so that's my contributions.
Okay. How about you, Caleb? Give out your social and anything else you've got going on.
Just at the Cap11 on Twitter.
it only took you 7 weeks to get that right, but good
Yeah,
job.
I'm glad you remember what it was this time.
Thank you. I had to study it, but
Oh god. Good job, Caleb.
not promoting anything this week though. Pretty low key.
Okay.
Nothing?
Promoting Tailgate, right?
He's going to
Okay.
be promoting my articles. That's what he's going to be doing.
Yeah, that's what
all
I'm
of
gonna be
them.
doing. Yep.
Okay. And I'm at Ajax Allen on Twitter. And besides the constant rah-rah for the Memphis Grizzlies, I'm full on updating. I'm basically promoting Julie's articles and also Tailgate Update. Whenever that hits, I'm on it like 5 minutes later.
Caleb, you haven't retweeted my Ryan Garcia article yet, so I'm expecting that as my promoter.
Ryan Garcia got it.
Arrested, yep.
He doesn't got it. It takes him 7 days to text me back, so.
Well, you're
only
falling
took
behind,
one.
so.
This time.
Huh?
It only took one business day this time.
Bro, you didn't even text him back the last time I texted you. Like,
Okay, we don't need
I'm
your
so
relationship
upset.
drama.
I'm so
I
upset.
do that sometimes. Yeah.
I'm so upset because it was a funny thing.
This is the most petty part of the show,
This
is
is-
when Ryan talks
It
about
is.
his
It
purpose.
is.
He's
It
been,
is.
he
It
held
hurt.
on until the segment. I do appreciate that.
I sent him a funny thing and he didn't even text me back.
As,
I remember-
You know what?
no.
I am sorry because you know when
Well, we're
I send
sidetracked.
somebody funny, when I send something funny and somebody doesn't respond to me, I get my feelings hurt. And I just
Exactly.
want to apologize to you.
Oh, and Julie, the
Man.
tagline, because we're so close to a special number.
We're almost to 500, and we started from 2, so we at the top. Now we're here, whatever that is.
Start
We're
from the
not here.
bottom. Start from the bottom.
Yeah, I
We're almost
forget.
there.
Look,
Start from the
Drake-
bottom. We're almost there.
All of Drake's other dramas in my head instead of his song. So,
God.
ooh. Yeah. So like, subscribe. You know, we're getting some traction. It's very exciting. Comment, hit that notification bell, ding, and yeah, let us know how we did. Great, we know, but just like reinforce that for us. You know,
Yes,
Yeah.
affirm us, please.
yeah.
Absolutely.
My self-esteem needs that. All right.
Man, thanks for meeting with it was fun getting together with y'all.
Absolutely. Every week is fun,
Yes.
day. Every week is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.